Hello, people. So I've been contemplating to do this video about my experience with suicide and dealing with a friend who committed suicide, and all the how many people it affected in so many different ways and so many different levels. Um, if you are contemplating suicide, please seek help. Secular help, which is your local psychologist, and spiritual help, which comes through here. So, anyways, I met my friend Jeff at 13 years old in 8th grade when I was new in the school. We instantly became good friends and spent the nights on each other's houses periodically on the weekends. So first he had met this one girl, and they got into a serious relationship. They were about 16, 17 years old, and she ended up getting pregnant, and her mom forced her into having an abortion and to stop seeing Jeff. So that was the first big blow to my friend Jeff, and he would have did anything he could have for her and the baby at the time. I know that because he had a golden heart. So anyways, a couple years later, he ended up meeting another girl in high school, their last year in high school, and they ended up getting married, and I was the best man in his wedding. Uh, so they ended up, having a baby girl, and about 9 months later, when the baby was about 9 months old, she decided to stray away from the home, which she finally admitted to me later that it was only because of her own selfish carnal desires. And I know he cherished his wife and his baby girl very much so. So one night, I decided to take a ride. He was living alone in a small two-bedroom apartment above a double-wide garage. Decided to go see him, and the upstairs door was open, the inside door, and the screen door was closed. The light was on. I walked in and didn't see him, so I walked downstairs, where most of the time he usually was, also playing his drums or listening to music, and he had become a very good drum player of the music of Led Zeppelin. And so I went down there, and I noticed the window was closed. It was the summertime, which is usually open. Then I went to the regular door, and the door was locked. So I remembered that one of the garage doors wouldn't lock. It was a double garage door. And so I opened it up, and it was full of carbon monoxide. He was slumped over in the car, and I immediately pulled him out, set him on the grass, and I ran back upstairs to go call 911 because we didn't have cell phones back then. And when I got up there, the phone was ringing, and it was his mom to call to check up on Jeff. And I said, Judy, I got to let you go. I got to call 911 for Jeff. And she said, okay, we're on our way. So ambulance came, police came, and his parents were there like in half the time to get there. And the police started questioning me about what happened. And his father, Ron, was standing right next to us when his mother was attending to Jeff and the ambulance drivers. And the police officer started questioning me again. And I started getting kind of huffy with him. I was like, I already told you what happened. I found him in the garage. I came to visit him. So his father just kind of waved his hand down on the lowdown like, no, just leave him alone. He's telling the truth. So anyways, Jeff ended up going to a mandatory 72-hour evaluation at the hospital. And he got out. And, well, Yeah, his wife had already left. They gotten a divorce. Um, so he went back to work, and a lot of us kept in contact with him to help support him. Yeah, but he was just kind of, I realize now, just going through the motions in life, being very well hurt after his first girlfriend, plus what his wife had just done. And so in the meantime, his cousin Ray was living at home with his parents yet, and his dad got offered a good job out of state with the EPA, and they ended up moving. So Ray was in a very serious relationship with a girl named Tina, and they were contemplating marriage. Um, they was the most quiet, sweetest couple you could ever meet. So we was in a big clique of people, all our families, and from 4 or 5 surrounding towns, a big clique of people, if you want to call it that. And so, anyways, Jeff was living by himself, so Ray moved in with him so he could still keep working. Tina was working, and they were contemplating marriage. So everybody thought at the time that it would be a really good idea for both Jeff and Ray. Jeff had extra company, his cousin. Uh, Ray could be close to his girlfriend, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, one night I went over there unexpectedly to go visit them, and it was me, Jeff, Ray, and Tina. About 9:30 at night, and we were actually just sitting around, goofing around a little bit, and reading the newspaper actually. So Ray got up and said he wasn't feeling too well, and went into the bedroom, and so I only stayed a couple more minutes, and I left. So the next day, I called another friend of ours, and his mom answered, Marcy. She said, Jesse, are you sitting down? I was like, yes, I am. I'm sitting in my bed having a cup of coffee. She said, well, both Jeff and Ray are gone. And I lost it. I'm like, what about Tina? I said, she was there when I left last night. She said, apparently she had left because she wasn't there. Thank God. So I went into the kitchen where my dad was, and he immediately lost it too, and excuse me. So they ended up having a double service for both of them. They had died the same way I found them the first time, 9 months prior. Um, so we're at the wake. They were next to each other in their coffins, and I was just adjacent to the room where the coffins were at the time, and Tina walked up there, and she just dropped on the floor and was in hysterics. So a lot of us got in the limos. There was about 4 limousines for the immediate family and the pallbearers. And I was in the second one, I believe. And someone came back and said, hey, they're playing Stairway to Heaven on, it was like the Loop Chicago station or something. And he went and told everyone, and the limo drivers put it on. And of course, we all lost it again. So, ended up having a burial service. And I kept in close contact with Jeff's families and Ray's and all the friends and everything. And even at most weddings that happened in our clique, that happened afterwards, we always set 2 glasses and 2 chairs at a table where nobody else sat in memory of Jeff and Ray. And so anyways, years went by, and I happened to be going through a very dysfunctional lifestyle period in my life. And I hadn't talked to Jeff's mom in a while because usually we kept in contact all the time, but I had moved, and I had changed my phone numbers. So Jeff's mom, Judy, had my sister's number yet and got my new number. And at that time, within a 1 week's period, I actually had contemplated suicide myself. But within 1 week, the second time after I thought about it, the next day, his mom, out of the blue, called me to see how I was doing. Well, I didn't tell her what I was going through in my life at the time. And, but it was nice to talk to her and hear her. So after that phone call, I immediately stopped thinking about suicide because of all the memories that came back. And now it took me a few years later to realize that it was the intervention of God by that phone call. So I never thought about it again. So I just want people to know just how... Oh, one thing I forgot to say earlier was Ray's parents ended up getting a divorce because his mom was blaming the father for having to move out of state for his new job. And she said that if they hadn't had moved, Ray would probably still be alive now. So that's another effect of what had happened. So if someone's thinking about this, please think about all the people that love you. Think about all the love that these 2 young men had for them. Seek help, people. Secular and spiritual help. I had contemplated to do this video for about a year, and I'm finally glad I shared it in hopes that it will at least help one person. I'm not out for subs or likes or anything, but please share with someone that you know that might need to hear it, that it might help at least one person. So hopefully at least they could at least help one more person too. I think I might have left some things out. I always wanted to try to get the right words, and it seems like the right words, the right timing just wouldn't happen. So I tried to explain it the best way I could myself. So may God bless you all. Keep safe. Seek help and pray.